Michael Jordan's flair, charisma, control, understanding the game. Nobody can do that. He was so graceful with the basketball, and he would change gears on you and change direction really, really quick. It's just amazing, man. If you see it, in person, it's like, we're like, oh. We start a fast break, somebody's gonna get dunked on. And it's gonna be Michael dunking on somebody. In the 1990 Eastern Conference Finals, I think the Bulls was really getting to figure us out. Joe Dumars used to guard him first because that's the beginning of the game. Then once he got out the game, I had to go guard him. I don't think anybody else could have guarded him. John Sally, Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, no. Whenever he got the ball, I'm pretty much like nose to nose with him because I didn't want him to do anything to embarrass me. I named the Jordan rule. If he goes to the hole, put him on the ground. If you see some of those clips, you'll see that we just hit him every time we go to the basket. And he's always on the ground, like in pain. But he always gets back up. He learned after a while, man, that he just took control from there. I think people really saw one of the best performances in the NBA when Michael played against us. And we didn't let anyone do that against us. But almost put 50 on us quick. Check his resume out. It's awesome. It's like, wow, this guy's amazing.
We are live at Chicago Stadium. This building has held great events since 1929. Welcome, everyone, to the Eastern Conference Final. I'm Kevin Harlan with Coach Mike Fratello and Clark Hello. We have Game 3 between the Pistons and the Bulls. Mike, I hope you can hear me. This Chicago arena is rocking right now.
Well, this city knows how pivotal this game is for the Bulls. It's a must-win situation for Chicago, and they'll need to be at their best to stand a chance.
Oh, and that won't be easy. Michael Jordan and the Bulls, Clark, have so far been stifled by this great Piston D.
Well, the Pistons are known as the bad boys, and for good reason. The defense is suffocating, it's physical, it's disruptive, and it's unrelenting. Chicago has to find some way to get their offense going in this series.
As you always say, they hang their hats on their defensive play.
That's right.
Here now, a look at the starting five for the Pistons. It's Thomas and Dumars in the backcourt. Rodman and Laimbeer, the fearsome frontcourt pair. And in the middle, James Edwards. Looking at the starting five for the Bulls. Paxson runs the point. Grant and Cartwright play in the post at the 4 and 5. And on the wings, it's the dynamic duo of Jordan and Pippen.
And the Pistons defense, so physical. You know you'll get bumped and banged up against them. They are both intimidating and effective.
Thomas, good.
Boy, Isaiah Thomas, such a creative ball handler. Rush hour handles and a fantastic feel for how to break defenses down.
Pippen dishes to Jordan. No good with the triple. And Clark, with the Pistons and their defense, they've also imposed what they call the Jordan rules. What is that?
Well, I tell you, it's 10 eyes on Jordan at all times, sending doubles, triples, and traps at Jordan whenever he has the ball, Kevin. And they know he's the key to the Bulls' offense, so they're really trying to cut him down with a lot of bodies and a lot of physicality. And so far, through the first 2 games, it's worked.
That's a good explanation.
This is the creativity he brings to this offense. Fantastic at involving his teammates with his passing.
Mike Fratello, Michael Jordan, through the first 2 games, has been solid. But we know he is capable of more.
Just 20 points for him last game. I would imagine he does everything in his power to put up bigger numbers in that tonight.
This could be an all-timer. The stage is set, and it's one that Isaiah Thomas knows well. And for more on that, here's our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, this is an ongoing story. You have Isaiah Thomas coming back to his native Chicago. He's talked about how he wanted to play with the Bulls and how he used to sneak into this arena. Obviously, he's very happy in Detroit, but he loves this building, and he usually plays well here. Guys?
Thanks, D.A. And, of course, Mike, Isaiah's backcourt partner has shined as well.
Joe Dumars, the MVP of last year's finals, leading them in scoring in the first 2 games at the Palace.
It's about as good a backcourt, I think, as this league has ever seen, wouldn't you say?
A very versatile backcourt.
Mike, the Bulls have had some turnover problems in this series, and that is something they're going to have to avoid here.
Without question, 19 turnovers for them last game. You know the Pistons bring the pressure. Bulls have to minimize unforced errors.
Especially at this stage of the season in big games like this.
You know, because Jordan is so spectacular, sometimes his strong fundamentals are overlooked. And he keeps it simple. Why get fancy when the pick and roll works like that?
Now here's Thomas. Tries from the block, and it's Edwards getting it to go.
No question, Edwards knows how to get it done inside, using his height to get a shot.
Paxson kicks to Jordan. Pippen outside. Offline with his three. And Clark, Isaiah Thomas, just 8 points in game one, and many had 10 points in game two. He wants to get it going tonight. You can just feel it.
Absolutely, and you figure Zeke will have to be better than that. I mean, he's too good of a player to put up numbers like that all series long.
Yeah, I agree. Here's Jordan after the basket by Detroit, and the three ball is good.
Again and again, round and round we go. This guy is knocking down those triples.
Beyond the points, he also provides spacing to this offense.
Now, here's Dumars. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Here's Edwards. This Bulls defense applying pressure like we saw near the end of game two. Goes up the baseline. Jordan can't get it to go.
And the D got super lucky he didn't drain that one.
Thomas against Paxson. Fades and shoots. Again, Thomas misses. Still unable to find his groove here against the Bulls. And they double up Jordan. 1:30 left in the first quarter of the game. Grant with a screen on Dumars. No good from Jordan.
And the Pistons up 2-zip in this series. They are completely in the driver's seat. The onus is on the Bulls to make the adjustments to get back in this series.
And I'm expecting that. Coach Jackson will certainly have to mix things up, Mike. The Pistons are a monster, but they aren't invincible, especially with the team that has Michael Jordan.
Jordan with another miss.
You know, on that shot, I'd like to see him go straight up with it.
And the foul called on Michael Jordan. That is his first foul of the game. And the Bulls with some changes. Neely's checked in for Grant. And B.J. Armstrong has subbed in for John Paxson. Sally, he's checked in for Detroit. Aguirre comes in for Dennis Rodman. Now, here is Aguirre. Shoots over Pippen. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Pippen. The Bulls making a switch here. Kings checked in. Detroit also making some changes. Johnson comes in for Dumars. And it's Henderson for Isaiah Thomas. Just 5 to shoot. Johnson, the pass to Aguirre. Shoots over Pippen. Again, the miss by the Pistons. And so Jordan will bring it out for Chicago. They lead by 4.
The Bulls are doing a nice job adapting to the rough Detroit defense. They know the contact is coming. Absorb it and go make a play.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Points, assists, rebounds, defense. Scottie Pippen gives your team all of that. Every team in the league wants a guy like him.
They don't hesitate when they get their opportunity to punch it inside.
A drive by Jordan. And Jordan throws it down.
And the high-flying antics of Jordan, simply awesome.
Outside, Aguirre. Fires the three, and the rejection by Pippen. And so it's the Chicago Bulls with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. Welcome back, everyone, to Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals here in Chicago. Pistons trail by 6.
And early in this series, the Pistons have had a big bench advantage. A lot of points chipped in from the second unit. It's a problem for the Bulls.
On the court for the Pistons, we've got Bill Laimbeer. Aguirre is out there with Sally. Then it's Thomas. And it's Johnson in at the 2. 5 on the clock. No good there. And the Bulls going the other way now. Hey, Clark, remember in game 1, the Bulls only managed 12 points from their bench.
But they did get it going in game 2, Kevin, but so did the Pistons. I think the Pistons have a deeper and more battle-tested bench. Somebody on Chicago's side is going to have to really step up.
Here's Sally. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Aguirre with it. Shoots over Pippen. Here's Lambier. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. One on Pippen.
Where there's contact, usually Bill Lambier is in the neighborhood now. He thrives off of it and often instigates it.
Looking at the Pistons, you have to appreciate their approach. They play to their strengths and keep a very level head throughout the game.
Bill Cartwright, he's checked in for King. Detroit also making some changes. Edwards, he's checked in for Sally. And it's Dumars in for Johnson. Dumars against Jordan. Tries it from the top of the key. Dumars misses. And with the Pistons approach, Clark, it's almost methodical how they go about things.
Kevin, it's not only methodical, it is maniacal and physical. And that's what being a champion does to you. This team knows they're great. They feel if they play their game, nobody can beat them physically, but more importantly, emotionally and mentally.
So confident. There's a player. Rebound by the Bulls. Mike Jordan is coming out of the gate hot, as we can see, shaking off that last 20-point performance.
And this was one of the more predictable things to happen. Jordan is just too competitive and driven to not come out strong after last game.
We knew it was going to happen. To the left side wing. Aguirre passes to Thomas. Outside, Lambier. Aguirre kicks to Thomas. To halt the run. Scottie Pippen grabs the miss.
You know, you got to feel for him. He just cannot seem to buy a bucket here.
Yeah, but he has to stop shooting. He's really hurting his team.
Kicks it out to Jordan. Shoots over Dumars. That doesn't go either for Jordan. Pistons trailed by 11. And a look at the 2 stars of these teams. Michael Jordan, coach, has been magnificent early on.
This is exactly how Jordan and the Bulls wanted to start things off. Jordan is locked in. He looks like he's on his way to another incredible performance.
And the jam by Bill Cartwright. Once again, Thomas struggling, Clark, to find any rhythm on offense.
And I'm wondering, Kevin, if it's the Bulls' defense or something else. He's had a tough time getting his shot to fall.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. And the Bulls with some changes. Grant comes in for Neal. And Hodges subbed in for B.J. Armstrong. And the call will be against Scottie Pippen. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Lambier dishes to Dumars. It's Thomas on the wing. He's guarded by Hodges. Pulls it from the elbow. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to 9 in the bucket from Thomas. Well, the Bulls have done a much better job, Clark, limiting turnovers in this game.
And it seems like they've made a concentrated effort to be more careful, to squeeze that orange a little bit better. You can see the change compared to last game.
And for a word about the Pistons' second unit, we send it to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, typically the Pistons only play 8 guys, but they may go 12 deep now. Scott Hastings has started something called the Bench Bandits in Detroit. They wear rubber bands on their left wrists, and if one of those last 4 guys isn't paying attention, they snap it. It's kind of a painful way to stay focused. Guys, back to you.
It seems that way. Something's working, though. Mike, in the first 2 games, Pistons bench outscored the Bulls bench by 30 points.
That's
That's a whopping margin. It's been no contest. A major storyline in this series.
Agreed. Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
In a way, Jordan is your point guard. He's the initiator.
Thomas against Hodges. Thomas, no luck.
Take a look at this Pistons offense, and they run an awful lot of pick-and-roll action effectively because they're an excellent passing team, and they work really well together.
And they double up Jordan. He feeds it to Grant. The pass to Hodges. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Just 5 to shoot. And the whistle blows as the basket counts. And a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. A different look here for Detroit. Sally, he's checked in for Lambeer. Rodman comes in for Aguirre. And it's Johnson in for Joe Dumars. Free throw good, Jordan. Like looking at this Pistons offense, the pick and roll, the screen roll game is very deadly with Isaiah Thomas.
And it opens up everything for them as well. The team plays very unselfishly, always looking for a great shot and rarely settle for bad ones.
They're a very smart team. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Detroit Pistons. 19-point game. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Purdue, he's checked in for the Bulls. .51 seconds left here in the second. Johnson against Jordan to end the run. Johnson can't hit.
Struggling to find their flow while the other team is on the roll.
Yeah, this drought is really hurting them. They've got to mix things up and try and snap out of it.
How do you expand the lead? Increase it. It takes good play on both ends.
Yeah, it's not just about buckets, not just about stops. You need both.
Got a piece of it, and stolen by Jordan. Buries the long-range jumper. Jordan's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Bulls.
You know, finding ways to build their lead, to expand it. Their offense looking like a... Oh, man! They can't miss on an absolute tear.
This is a thing of beauty. Perfect offensive basketball.
Thomas kicks to Johnson. Pass to Edwards. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson. Edwards got 8.
The basis of our game is the pass, sharing, being a great teammate.
Jordan looking it over. And so it's Michael Jordan making things happen for the Bulls. He's approaching 40 points for him in the game. He's scoring in just about every way possible. Right back after this break. Welcome, everyone, back to Chicago. It's the Bulls and Pistons in an Eastern Conference Finals showdown.
One thing the Bulls need to make sure they do is attack the rim. They settled for way too many outside looks the first few games. You need to test the Pistons inside.
John Paxson is out there with Michael Jordan. And there's Cartwright. Then it's Pippen. And it's Grant in at the 4. And that's the group for Phil Jackson as we begin the second half. Paxson passes to Jordan. Lays it up off the glass. Jordan's got 40 points. Pippen in particular, Clark, shied away from driving early in this series, it seemed.
Well, Kevin, the Bulls know the Pistons are going to touch them up, be physical with them when they drive the ball. But they need to get over that and go with reckless abandon and strength to the basket. Settling for outside shots is not going to win them this series. That's a very low percentage shot. Not good basketball at all. One he probably should have passed on.
And a miss there on the triple.
That might as well be a layup if you give him that much space.
You have to do a better job of taking away space from him, especially when he's lining up at a 3.
Paxson against Thomas. Clock at 6. Rodman with a screen on Jordan. Here's Dumars. Michael Jordan grabs the miss. Jordan's got 5 rebounds tonight.
And, you know, these teams met 5 times during the regular season, and the Pistons won 4 of those meetings. That has to be a factor in the back of the minds of the Chicago Bulls.
Thomas against Paxson. And here's Dumars. Tipped away. High post Lambier. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. If you look back to the prior year, Mike Fratello, the Pistons won all 6 regular season games and the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bulls.
It's a budding rivalry. The Pistons aren't intimidated by Jordan. Feels like these teams have been in each other's way the last few years.
Which makes for a great rivalry. Thomas kicks to Dumars. And Dumars throws it down.
Dumars showing us some surprising hops right there. Finds room to take off and certainly doesn't waste that opportunity.
Kicks it out to Jordan. Cartwright with a screen on Dumars. And here's Jordan outside.
And regardless of how this series goes, what a successful year it's been for Chicago. 55 wins, the second most in franchise history.
First trip to the line for him here. And he makes the first.
You know, Mark Aguirre does really just about everything you would ask of him on the floor. Not much that he can't do.
Kings checked in for Bill Cartwright. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. It's Jordan on the wing, covered by Dumars. And they double up Jordan. And it's Jordan with the jam.
Efficiency personified there. Jordan scoring at will, taking over the game whenever he chooses.
Pistons trail by 21. Hey, Clark, no matter how this series shakes out, you feel the Bulls are poised for something bigger in the future.
Clearly, Kevin, the foundation is laid. They've got a star and a really good core group. I think it's just a matter of growing this group together, maturing, becoming more confident and physical, and you could see them competing for a title in the very near future.
We've seen this process before. It takes time, sometimes, for teams to get by a tough opponent.
Great point, Kevin, and there's no denying it. You don't see teams become championship teams overnight. There's a seasoning and a journey that's required to become champions.
Armstrong's checked in for the Bulls. Sally, he's checked in for the Pistons. Passes to Lambier. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. The shot, no good. Jordan down low. Lambier defended. Jordan down low. Lambier on him, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Jordan's got a lot of flash to his game. A terrific guard, loves getting tricky with his ball handling and creating shots for himself.
Johnson, he's checked in for Joe Dumars. And so Thomas will bring it up for the Pistons. In the second half now, and Mike, as we can see, Jordan continues to lead the way.
And you can't help but be impressed by the show Jordan is putting on. There is no way for them to slow down or contain his airness.
He's been wonderful. Here's Jordan. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Jordan's got 10 points here in the second half. And Jordan, Mike, continues to get things to fall. What a show he is putting on tonight.
You can see the fire in Jordan's eyes. He's on a mission to make a statement this game.
Lambier screen. 5 to shoot. Shoots from 14. Thomas, good. Thomas got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, I think the defense has to guard Thomas a lot better than that. He's really good in that mid-range area.
And Jordan gets it to go.
And, you know, they aren't showing any signs of easing up. Their offense looks superb right now.
They can't get careless with the lead. And so far, this hasn't been the case.
Offside Thomas. All sorts of time. Score the basket, his 5th of the game. He's missed 6 shots against those 5 makes.
And talk about being assertive. Thomas is so good at making quick decisions.
From deep, Jordan. 43 seconds left in the third. Tries again. He can't get it to go. Nice D from Lambeer. Johnson dishes to Thomas. Lambeer a screen. Shot from free throw range. Again, Thomas missing. The Bulls leading by 22. Pippen with the wide open look. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Jordan's got 4 assists now tonight.
There is terrific accuracy on Pippen's shooting, and that can really open up the arc for him.
The shot's good. Sally's got his first basket.
Getting aggressive and creating a second chance opportunity. Exactly what coaches want to see.
And here's Jordan. What a play. Simply trains it in at the buzzer.
Fighting till the last second, hits the buzzer beater right here.
He's got so much confidence in himself.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Bulls out front, running away with it. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. Here we go, the fourth quarter on the way in this crucial Game 3 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And you look at the coaches in this matchup. Obviously, the Pistons have a legend on their bench who has won a title. But the Bulls have shown well under Coach Jackson.
And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Sally is out there with Dennis Rodman. Then it's Henderson. Then it's Johnson. And it's Bedford in at the 5, roaming the paint. Johnson can't get it to go. And here are the Bulls now. And Coach Phil Jackson in his first full year with the Bulls.
And you know, Kevin, Jackson has changed the offensive approach for this team. He was an assistant before with the Bulls, so he understands their personnel. Seems like a really good fit so far into his tenure.
Yeah, he was an assistant under Doug Collins.
Yep.
Jordan passes to Armstrong. No good on the 3. Mike Fratello, what a gigantic night for Michael Jordan against these Detroit Pistons.
First game of the series at home, you knew this would be Michael's time to shine. What a memorable performance from an elite player.
Against these bad boys from Detroit. Chicago making some changes. Bill Cartwright, he's checked in for Purdue. Grant comes in for King. And it's Paxson in for Armstrong. Then for the Pistons, Edwards comes in for Bedford. And it's Dumars in for Gerald Henderson. And 3 from Jordan. And he stays with it. Over Dumars. The 17-footer goes down. Jordan's got 56 points in the game.
He is money from there. Jordan is so comfortable operating from mid-range.
Sally with a screen on Paxson. Pass to Sally. Inside, here's Dumars. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Yeah, he's a really competitive guy, Joe Dumars, not allowing the defense to overwhelm him there.
Free throw, no good for Dumars. Jordan dishes to Grant. Back to Jordan. And Grant now top of the key, down low. Edwards against Jordan. There's the pass to Paxson. The 3. And Jordan good for 3. Jordan's got 59 points. And the Bulls ahead in this one, Clark. They've minimized mistakes, and they have the lead to show for it.
Exactly, and you know, sometimes it's really simple. Take care of the ball, get good shots, and usually good things happen.
Here's Dumars. It's all in by the Bulls. Jordan's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Plays it up and banks it in.
And Jordan is simply amazing at finishing through contact. Doesn't matter what you throw at him or who, he finds a way to score.
Pass to Rodman. Back to Dumars. Passes it to Edwards. Shoots over Cartwright. Sweet move. And it's laid in by Edwards.
Took the smaller defender to task inside. Great recognition of the mismatch.
And they double up Jordan. Pass to Hodges. From deep. And the rebound goes to the Pistons. outside Dumars. And there's the pass to Johnson. Here's Sally. He's covered by Grant. Near the three-point line, it's Edwards. He can't hit that time. And the Bulls going the other way now. Jordan outside. Knocks down the three ball. Jordan's got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for the Bulls.
The number of the second half, 3. They are drilling shots.
And that starts with ball movement, putting your shooters in good positions.
Some changes for Chicago. Purdue is checked in for Cartwright. Neely comes in for Grant. And Armstrong subbed in for Paxson. And a switcher also for Detroit. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Dumars. Johnson, the pass to Henderson. Over Armstrong. Henderson, no good. They are in complete control, coach, of this game.
There's no question, without a doubt, they've been firing on all cylinders.
In every way, you're right. 1:31 left here in the fourth quarter. And there's the whistle, 3-second violation.
More pressure from the Bulls' D has forced some mistakes from Detroit's offense. I like the game plan. Stick with it and take advantage of those extra possessions.
Lambeer's checked in for Edwards. Armstrong passes to Jordan. He kicks it to Armstrong. Back to Jordan. And they double up Jordan. Here's Armstrong. Jordan, high post, pass to Hodges. Purdue with a screen on Rodman. Jordan wide open. And the Bulls with another miss.
Well, that's a quality look for him. Probably surprised himself with that miss.
Yeah, the defense can't continue to give him that shot and expect the same results.
Sally kicks to Johnson. Pistons passing it around. High post try. Kept alive. Pass to Henderson. Back to Lambeer. On the wing, Johnson. Pass to Lambeer. Here's Rodman. Johnson outside. It's rebounded by Jordan. The pass to Hodges. Jacks up a three, and that one drops.
Basically been all him. I mean, he scored most of the points himself.
Back in a game they needed to win so badly. Michael Jordan and the Bulls get the win. What a tremendous effort from Chicago.
The series now moves to 2-1, and the Bulls are very much in it. This team showed a lot of mettle fighting for the looks they got and converted when they needed to.
And for the Pistons, Clark, they'll be feeling the pressure in Game 4 for sure.
As they should. They don't want to let this series get tied up. Nobody wants to deal with the 3-game series against Michael Jordan. I'd expect them to bring it for Game 4.
I would too. Clark Kellogg, Mike Fratello, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our 2K team. This is Kevin Harlan signing off.